Netflix seems to be coming up with some kick-ass content lately. Recently, its Korean spin-off of the critically acclaimed Money Heist series called Money Heist Korea has had many watchers alarmed with how the cyber war thriller's been leaning into real-world events. Let's take a closer look at what all the hype is about, shall we? First off, is Money Heist Korea a remake of the original? If you haven't seen the original Money Heist but still want to dive into Money Heist Korea, the first question that you might find yourself asking is, what exactly is this show? Is it a sequel or a remake? To describe the show plainly, it's essentially a remake of the original La Casa de Papel, but this time it has an all-new Korean twist. While the basic plot and narrative structure that fans of the original Money Heist have come to adore is still intact, this time the heists are being done in an all-new location. That said, the show definitely seems to be trying to stand on its own. They've made the distinct Korean flair very apparent, and while the basic foundation of the plot is still the same, the director has highlighted that it's the characters that'll really make this show feel exciting for viewers. This means that it's certainly possible to have Money Heist Korea be your first step into the Money Heist world, if you don't really want to catch up with everything that's come before. Next, is the action-packed thriller based on real-world events? While the Korean spin-off of the Money Heist series isn't based on a true story, the series is definitely tackling some real-world and relevant issues. The heist thriller series starts off with the Korean peninsula being reunited. With South and North Korea becoming one country, a joint economic area is created where people from the two regions are able to come and trade with each other freely. It's going to be where the new currency that is to be shared between the two united countries, the United Korea Mint, is to be printed. This is where our gang of thieves come in. The story essentially revolves around a group of robbers attempting to take 4 trillion won from the United Korea Mint while trying to avoid the authorities of both South and North Korea. While outmatched in terms of sheer strength, in true Money Heist fashion, they must use their wits and intelligence to gain the upper hand. Moving forward, what are some of its most alarming real-world elements? Although it's definitely more dramatic than realistic, the show actually takes elements that are completely real. As is often the case in real life, the real winners in Money Heist Korea are the rich. The show makes it clear that with the societal structure of the newly united Korean peninsula, the rich are set to be richer while the poor dive deeper into poverty. So it really shouldn't come as a surprise why viewers can't help but root for them, just considering how messy their entire situation is. In addition to discussing poverty and capitalism, Money Heist Korea also delves into class, immigration, and social stratification in a light that is very close to reality. All of this is painted under the backdrop of the professor and his crew attempting to carry out a daring money heist, adding even more stakes and excitement to the entire thing. If you've seen the original show, you'll know that they aren't exactly stealing the money. Instead, they're attempting to break into the mint and print an absolutely insane amount of these fresh notes for themselves. The alarming divide between the rich and the poor depicted in the series, to the point that it can drive individuals to such levels of desperation, is definitely going to resonate with some viewers. This is especially true for people who may be aware of the political and social issues of South Korea, as the show has an undeniably Korean flair to the entire plot. Next, the series also comments on the contradictory ideologies of North and South Korea. The plot of Money Heist Korea kicks off with the Korean peninsula being united, and the show doesn't shy away at all from highlighting the contradictory ideologies of North and South Korea. To no one's surprise, North Korea as a dictatorship and South Korea with its capitalist leanings certainly have a large ideological divide, but the one place they both value is the joint economic area. This is where the minting of the new currency takes place. So you've got a place that can print an unlimited amount of money and a group of thieves with nothing to lose. Add them together and, well, you get a money heist. One of the most major themes of the series is the economic divide that's always present in most capitalist societies. This show really tugs on the viewer's heartstrings by showing us the struggles of its main cast. It helps us understand just where they're coming from. It also showcases how, despite a reunification between the two countries, maintaining a balanced economy is downright impossible if one country is simply much poorer than the other. To really hammer down this idea, the series literally has it be one of the lessons that the professor discusses in his classes. And so, as much as the heist is a monetary move for the characters, it's also deeply political. It's their way of overthrowing the imbalanced reunification, which would only make the rich richer and the poor poorer. Quite the daring move, isn't it? Next, in other news, Netflix partners up with Microsoft to develop new ad-supported subscription plan. Back in April, Netflix announced that they're working on creating a new lower-priced ad-supported subscription plan. This would be in addition to their existing ads-free plans. Unsurprisingly, this news caught the internet by storm. Many people quickly opposed the idea, saying that being an ad-free and no-nonsense viewing experience was the whole point. Others highlighted how having an additional, cheaper ad-based option simply added more variety. We had complete radio silence since then, until last week when Netflix announced that they were officially partnering up with Microsoft as their global advertising technology and sales partner. In a blog post, Netflix stated that Microsoft has proven to cover and support Netflix's advertising needs as the two work together in creating a new ad-supported package. Further, they added that they are still in the very early days of this, but their long-term goal is to offer more choices for consumers and a premium, better-than-linear TV brand experience for advertisers. In Netflix's own words, it seems that the results of this partnership may still be far off, but that hasn't stopped people from going into a frenzy. Many have been quick to point towards hidden agendas behind the partnerships, while others are simply calling it a mistake. Either way, it might be months before we get to see any actual results of this partnership, so for now, let's all take a chill pill. Next, Netflix is making a live-action adaptation of the Japanese manga series Burn the House Down. Netflix caught the attention of many manga fans recently when they announced plans for a live-action adaptation of the hit manga series Burn the House Down. With the original manga being a fan favorite, fans are understandably both excited and nervous. The live-action adaptation is set to follow the story of the original manga. It revolves around Anzu Murata, a young woman who enters the house of the rich Matarai family as a housekeeper, with the goal of taking back the life which was stolen from her. As the story progresses, viewers will be in for a roller coaster of plot twists and reveals that left the original manga readers shocked and surprised. Netflix has recently been sparing no expense when it comes to their Japanese live-action adaptations, although as we've seen from past attempts like their Death Note and Cowboy Bebop adaptations, the results never tend to be that great. Still, fans of Burn the House Down manga are hoping this is the one adaptation that finally manages to stick the landing. Finally, Netflix's Resident Evil TV series ranks among the lowest-rated video game adaptations. The disastrous history of video game live-action adaptations has had many fans believing that the entire genre is cursed. While in recent times, series like League of Legends, Arcane, and the Sonic movies have done a bit to change this sentiment, we're now back down to ground level with Netflix's new Resident Evil TV series. Ranking among the very worst video game adaptations, the show is currently sitting at an average audience score of 22% on Rotten Tomatoes and at about 1.6 on Metacritic. Fans were quick to share their absolute distaste for the TV show. They pointed out how the show was a far cry from what the games are about. The Resident Evil TV show depicts an all-out post-apocalyptic zombie thriller, which isn't really what the games are known for. While trying to reach wider audiences with a more action-packed and intense take, it seems the show lost the support of people it should have appealed to the most, the existing fan base of the games. And just like that, another video game live-action adaptation bites the dust. While it's unclear if this series will be renewed for a second season, the first one does end with a cliffhanger that hints at the potential appearance of a fan-favorite character from the video game series. So it's possible that if given the chance, the show may be able to win back the love of the fans of the original video game series. That's a wrap for this video. See you in the next one.